Have you ever noticed how some leaders inspire their teams while others struggle to connect? The secret lies in understanding the Paleolimbic brain, the part of our brain that governs emotions, relationships, and trust. When it comes to leadership, how you manage your emotions and trust others can shape the entire culture of your team or organization. Let's explore how this plays out in different leadership styles and how it can either make or break a team's success. The Paleolimbic brain is all about managing emotions, forming relationships, and building trust. But depending on how confident a leader is and how much trust they place in their team, they can fall into one of four main leadership categories: dominant leaders, submissive leaders, marginal leaders, and axial leaders. Dominant leaders. These are leaders with high self-confidence but low trust in others. Picture a leader who believes they know best and refuses to delegate. They might micromanage every task, thinking that no one else can get it done right. On the surface, it might seem like they're getting things done. After all, they push hard, and things move quickly in the short term. But over time, this approach causes burnout. The team feels stifled, morale drops, and people start leaving the company. If a leader can't trust their team and constantly tries to control every detail, they not only overwork themselves but also create an environment where team members don't feel valued. This can lead to a revolving door of employees, high turnover, and a culture where no one wants to stick around for long. Does this sound familiar in your workplace? Submissive leaders. On the other end of the spectrum, there are leaders with low self-confidence who place too much trust in others. These leaders might hesitate to make tough decisions or constantly defer to others to avoid confrontation. Their teams can often feel lost, lacking direction, and unsure of what they're supposed to be doing. While it's great to trust your team, being too passive can create a chaotic environment where no one knows who's in charge or what's expected. In the long run, this leads to inefficiency, confusion, and ultimately, stagnation within the organization. Imagine a leader who avoids conflict or difficult conversations. This often results in problems festering beneath the surface, and the team ends up stuck in a cycle of underperformance. Marginal leaders. Now, let's talk about leaders who struggle the most, those with low self-confidence and low trust in others. These are the marginal leaders who often feel isolated and disconnected from their teams. They neither trust their own judgment nor believe in their team's abilities. As a result, they're ineffective in forming strong relationships and leading a cohesive group. Teams under marginal leadership lack motivation, direction, and a sense of purpose. The leader's inability to communicate effectively or build trust can create an atmosphere where no one feels empowered, and innovation and productivity suffer. Have you ever had a leader who seemed invisible or unapproachable? That's a hallmark of marginal leadership. Axial leaders. Finally, we have the ideal type of leader, axial leaders. These are leaders who balance self-confidence with trust in others. They know when to assert themselves and when to step back and allow their team to take the lead. This kind of leadership creates a collaborative environment where team members feel both valued and supported. Axial leaders inspire confidence in their team while fostering a culture of trust and empowerment. However, even axial leaders must be cautious not to become too trusting, as this can open the door for manipulation or exploitation. But when they strike the right balance, axial leaders are the ones who create high-performing teams, long-term success, and a thriving work culture. Now, you might be wondering, how can leaders become more like axial leaders? The first step is understanding where they fall on the spectrum of self-confidence and trust. By recognizing these tendencies, leaders can start making conscious adjustments to their behavior. A dominant leader can learn to trust their team more and delegate effectively. A submissive leader can build their confidence and take charge when necessary. Even marginal leaders can start forming stronger connections with their team by working on communication and relationship-building skills. The key takeaway here is that the Paleolimbic brain plays a crucial role in how leaders behave and interact with their teams. When leaders become more aware of how this part of the brain influences their actions, they can make intentional changes that improve their effectiveness and create a more balanced, productive, and positive work environment. Want to learn more about how the Paleolimbic brain affects leadership and how you can use this knowledge to improve your leadership style? Explore our videos.